This is your host, Bruce Hutchin, welcoming you to another informative episode of Whitetail Rendezvous. This is Whitetail Rendezvous Podcast, episode number 331. Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous. On today's show, we have Niki Tilly and Brittney Glaze of Model Hunter TV. They're going to share about their passion that's so strong, they do all-day sits at Pacconi's Trophy Whitetails of Southern Ohio. Yes, these ladies brave the elements and they get in the stand early and get out of the stand late. Why? Because they want to hunt mature bucks. They got a lot of tips and techniques, plus you'll hear the passion they have for the hunting tradition. It's never too early to think about food plots. Whitetail Rendezvous has an ebook for you. Just simply text 33444 food plot to get your copy. Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous. This is your host, Bruce Hutchin, and this is part 2 with Niki Tilly and Brittney Glaze as they share about Model Hunter TV and their passion for hunting whitetails with Pacconi's Trophy Whitetails of Southern Ohio. Thanks for sharing that, and I'm gonna let people know Niki's a pretty good barrel racer, and have you gone to regionals or national final rodeo, or kind of just throw in a couple seconds here about your barrel racing career?
Yeah, I grew up on the farm with my grandparents and mom. I've always been a racer around cattle and horses. From a very young age, I was on the horse's back. I've had several horses growing up and finally found that one. I always wanted to barrel race, but every barrel racer knows that you have to have a horse that's actually for barrel racing. Just like if you wanted to rope, you have to have a horse that's just for roping. So after watching all these movies on the Hallmark Channel and like Flicka and everything, just sitting there staring at the TV, my dreams finally came true. We found a horse that was perfect for me. It already was a national winning barrel racing horse. So I didn't know a thing about it. I jump on the horse's back and it takes me around the barrels. They said I was white as a ghost, but from that day forward, she taught me everything that I know about barrel racing. And it's just incredible how a horse can teach you things that you've never known before, a completely different world. But me and her, we barrel raced for about 5 years. She's been the best horse I've ever had, a blessing. And she actually, we was going all over, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, South Carolina. Every weekend I was at a barrel race. When I wasn't hunting, of course. But she actually recently got hurt, and she has some age on her. So I decided to retire her and just let her live out her days in my pasture. And I'm actually searching for a new barrel horse, and I can't wait to get back in the arena this summer.
Hey, and I'll ask Brittney the same thing. If somebody wants to reach out to you gals, I know Joe has a Facebook page. How would they get the hold of you and reach out to you and talk about Model Hunting TV or have questions?
Yeah, there, whatever form of social media you may have, we will have it. You can email us. We have Facebook, Model Hunter TV, Instagram, Twitter. We are there, and it's all Model Hunter TV. Just look us up. Send us a message. We're on it, constantly checking, and there's 3 of us looking at it, so we're always going to make sure that we see the message when it comes in, and it's always me and Brittney responding back to the people. But we have our personal Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat as well, and just go to the Model Hunters page, and that will send you to our pages as well and see all of our stuff.
Thanks so much. And if you could hand over the phone back to Brittney, I'm going to ask her about, passing on the hunting tradition. And so we'll do that right now.
Hello.
Yeah, Brittney, Niki and I were just talking about the hunting tradition and how our grandfather got us started, and that you gals are going to do a TV show with Niki's grandfather and I think your grandmother.
Yes, with my granny. My granny and Papa taught me how to fish and shoot my BB gun ever since I was real little. I honestly didn't come from the same background as Niki. My grandfather, unfortunately, passed away when I was young, and he did hunt, but he was a truck driver, so he wasn't home enough, and I was not able to go hunting with him before he passed. My dad does not hunt. Nobody in my immediate family hunts, but I have second cousins and friends and uncles that do, and I always wanted to. I loved being outside and fishing, but I didn't have the chance to go hunting until I was 14, my freshman year of high school, with the guy that I was dating at the time. He took me and we went camping and hunting, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. And ever since then, I just asked anybody that I could to take me hunting, and that's what I want to do, is pass that on to somebody who may not be in a family of hunters that wants to go or wants to try it, because that's what somebody did for me, so I want to pass that on to other people as well.
Why are you so passionate about hunting?
I just absolutely love the outdoors, anything to do with the outdoors, but the rush that you get from shooting the deer that you have been getting prepared for and working so hard for, it's just unexplainable. Like last year when I got my first bow buck, I still get emotional about it today. Like, I will start boo-hooing if I start talking about it. And it's just, I worked so hard for it, and I practiced my bow, and I sat in the stand for, just for days and days and days and days. And I done it for a few seasons before I actually harvested my first deer with my bow. And when I finally got one, I just lost it. I started crying. It's like the feeling, all the emotions mixed into one. And I was so happy. I was just so excited, and I cried my eyes out because I was happy and just couldn't even explain it. It's just a feeling that everyone needs to experience at some time in their life. And you either love hunting or you hate it. One or the other. But I absolutely love it because I want to feel that feeling every single time. And I do, whether it's a buck or a doe. I just have so much respect for that animal and the chase itself. And I'm just so blessed to be able to sit in the woods and harvest a deer and have meat for myself and my family as well. It means a lot. And I know that I worked hard and prepared for it. And it just... another feeling in the world. I'm just so proud of myself every time that I do it.
Let's talk a little about the three things you would say to a lady if she came up to you in a store or on social media. What would you say to her to welcome her into the hunting sisterhood?
If she came up and asked me about hunting
or on social media. She said, I'm interested in hunting. I see that you hunt a lot. How do I get started? Why do you like hunting so much? Those type of questions.
Okay. I would first tell them, find someone who's really passionate about it, close to them, whether it be a friend, a family member, a boyfriend, or whoever, and have them show them the ropes, show them the basics. Just go out and sit with someone first. That's what I did. I didn't take a weapon the first year that I went out. I sat with someone who was hunting and experienced the whole thing and see if it was even something that I wanted to do. Because you can get out there and you can love it, or you can get out there and you're like, this isn't for me, which is totally fine. But I would say first just get out there and try it. And then from there, either take classes or be with somebody who knows well enough how to shoot each weapon that you're wanting to use, whether it be a rifle or a bow or a crossbow, whatever the case may be. Learn how to shoot, practice at every angle, get ready and prepared for it. And just, like anything else, if you really want it, then you'll do it. You just got to get out there and do it. You can't sit there and wish that you could do it and sit on the couch. You have to get out there and just do it. And ask. Don't be scared to ask people. And that's my biggest thing, because there's no such thing as a dumb question. You have to learn. You're not just going to know it automatically or naturally. There's things about hunting that you wouldn't know unless someone showed you or told you. So just don't be scared to ask.
Stay on that trend of thought. Why do you think women are the fastest growing segment in the outdoor industry?
Why do I think women are the fastest? Well, I think as emotional as we are as women, I think our passion and drive for something, if we want to hunt, we're going to do it. We put our hearts and souls into something, and if you want to hunt, we are going to do everything it takes to do it. And a lot of women, I think, in the past were like, oh, it's a man's thing. It's a guy's weekend, or because that's what, growing up, that's just what you knew. Oh, Dad's going hunting with the guys this weekend. But not many people were like, hey, do you want to go with us? Or do you want to try it? But nowadays, we've got the Eva Shockey, the Tiffany, everyone showing that women can get out there and do it too. And it makes people like me and Nikki want to do it and show people that they can too. Because we can. I'm not saying that we're better. I'm not saying anything else. We're just equal. If you want to do it, you can. And I say, if that's what your heart desires, then get out there and do it. And I know that I'm going to give it my all, because that's something that I'm truly passionate about.
I'm going to ask Nikki the same question, so if you could hand the phone over to her, that'd be great.
Okay. Hello.
Hey, Nikki, Brittney and I were just talking about women in the outdoors and the fastest growing market segment in the outdoors. So why do you think that is?
Yeah, so like Brittney was saying, we women, just in general, are very determined. And once we set our mind to something, we're going to do it. Especially when somebody tells us we can't do something, then we're really going to do it. So maybe, it's great seeing so many women getting involved in the outdoors and going with their husbands and being able to take their children. It's just women just are proving on a daily basis that we can do it too. And I personally think that Eva Shockey is one of the greatest female hunters there is, and I think she even passes some of the men out there. So it's awesome to see women conquering such a man's sport that has been for so long, and now that it's female and male, it's great. And us women are going to stick together. We're going to get out there and we're going to work hard and we're going to make it happen every time we go out there. And it's all about empowering others. So our fellow huntresses, all of us girls, we are just all the time encouraging others and just telling each other you can do it and don't give up and hang in there and giving each other tips, and just so we can watch our friends and their daughters and bring them up in the outdoors. It's a wonderful thing that we have going on here.
So if a lady comes up to you in a store or sees you out, or probably the way they approach you is through social media and asks you, how do I start hunting? And what would you tell her?
Yeah, well, whether, it's funny you say that, whether they approach me in a store, and I have several family members, that are women that are not hunters and that would never hunt a day in their life. So if they are interested and ask me questions of why and how, I would just say, first off, what makes you intrigued about hunting? What makes you want to get out there and hunt? And I would go based off of a question like that, try to get their background just a little bit and try to feel them out, see where their mind is. Are they wanting to go just after whitetails? Are they wanting to go after turkeys? Everything, because it's a different story. It's a different book on each animal that we hunt. So much to learn. I would let them know that whatever you are thinking, don't be afraid to voice your mind and let people know what you're thinking. Ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask for help. No question is a stupid question. In school, I was always that girl that was always afraid to ask a question because I thought it was going to be stupid and the kids was going to make fun of me. But I've learned that is the best thing you can do to help grow yourself. And I would just love to get somebody's background story and give them the best tips for that individual person, because every person is going to have a different story. And so you're going to give them each a little bit of different tips to get them started on their first hunt or first adventure out in the woods.
Thanks for that. And I'm just sitting here marveling about how in tune both you and Brittney are. And it's so refreshing. I mean, you know what you want. You have the drive, dedication, and you're gaining experience every single hunt. So well done, lady.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So let's go back and talk about Joe's place down there and why you like to go there.
Well, when we cross the line and it says Ohio, welcome to Ohio, we always say, welcome to the land of big bucks. We're here. Oh my goodness, the bucks here in Ohio, they're just a completely different type of whitetail that we have in North Carolina and that we have where Brittney's from in Georgia. They just don't get that big like they do here. Some of our friends, Mike Rex, all of his mounts in his house, and he killed one of his biggest that he has in his house. He killed just 3 miles from here. Just all of this area is just so close together, and it is a monster. This deer is an absolute monster, and I'm just how could one even exist that big? It's unbelievable. The bucks here are just massive, and Joe knows all about the area. And he knows where a lot of the big bucks, the areas that they're in more. And it's just, he has so many stories to tell us every time we are here about how all of his hunters that's coming in, they're seeing bucks while they're out, and whether the buck might be too far for the hunter to shoot. He might have came running in and just ran out, didn't give the hunter a shot. There's always some type of crazy action going on. And the bucks, I can't get over that, just how different they are here and how much bigger they are. It's amazing to be able to go after such an animal and have this opportunity. It's wonderful.
Why don't you pass the phone back to Niki? I'm going to ask her the same question.
Brittney.
Oh, Brittney, pardon me.
Hello.
Yeah, we were just chatting about what's so special about Pacconi's Trophy Whitetails of Ohio, and what's your thought on that?
Well, I've hunted quite a few places in different states, and Ohio really does. They have some great, great deer. Like Niki said, coming from the south, we don't have big deer. We have great scoring deer if you go after them in the right places, but our deer bodies versus an Ohio deer is just ridiculous. Their body is huge. Their racks are huge. I mean, everything is just different, and it's just another rush to go after something that massive. And Mike Rex has become a good friend, and he's been here helping Joe as well and with me, and he showed us our trophy room, and he's got us hooked on Ohio. He loves hunting Ohio. It's where he's from, and there's definitely some great, great bucks here. And Joe is so passionate about what he does, and he puts in the time and effort here on his leases, and I believe in him. And I mean, a year ago when I came here, he's grown so much since then. I'm just proud of him. I mean, he's done a great job, and he's harvested a ton of nice deer for his customers, and I'm excited. I'm hoping that I luck up this week and I get to lay eyes on a nice buck, and he comes in within 30 yards for me, because that's what I'm here for, is the chase, and hoping that I have a chance myself.
Now, does Joe open up in September? Tell us, the seasons that you can hunt at Joe's there.
I think Ohio does open up in September, and you can hunt all the way until, I think their season ends the first week of February here. So me and Niki are here until the 30th of January. We came the first time the week of Thanksgiving, and so it's just, he's got some great seasons. I mean, you can come with your muzzleloader, with your bow, anything you desire. He's open the whole hunting season. So from September until the beginning of February, you can come out here and hunt. And then he's also open for turkey season. So he's booking up quickly for that as well. And he's got plenty of turkey, because we've seen them everywhere this week.
Now, to help the listeners understand, how many bucks can they get? So if I hunt with my crossbow, rifle, and muzzleloader, can I get different tags for each of those seasons?
No, you can only get one buck total. So it's up to you on how you want to harvest it. And then you can also buy a doe tag after you harvest your buck, because the original tag is either sex. And of course, most people are going to choose a buck. And once you harvest your buck, you can buy an additional doe tag, which is what Niki did this week, and harvested a doe as well with her buck. So.
Thanks for that. And why don't you pass it back to Niki, and I'm going to ask her more about her hunt.
Okay, awesome. Hello.
Yeah, Niki, tell the listeners about your hunt. Now, we talked about the first buck. How about the hunt for the doe?
Yeah, so I got my buck. I was not expecting that on the first night, within a couple hours of the hunt. And so me and Brittney, we talked about it, and I had never got a kill with my compound. I recently started hunting with it, and so I have been in the woods, and I've had deers walk right by me, does mostly, and I had a small buck walk by me, and I should have shot, but I wanted to wait for that right time, and I just didn't feel that it was the right time. So I would just sit there, and And it's also a part of just letting myself feel how it feels to have a deer walk that close to you with a compound bow in your hand. It's a whole nother feeling, and everything is completely different. But so me and Joe went back in the woods together to harvest my first compound kill, and we knew that we wasn't as stressed or worried for like a big buck to come walking in, because I had already got my buck the evening before. So the stress was off a little bit, and we felt pretty confident we would have a couple of does or just something come in, and it did. And I got it. And me and Joe, if you could saw inside the blind, we looked like little school kids, like trying not to squeal, but like squealing and just like hitting each other on the arm. And I was just like, oh my gosh, can you believe that? And it was incredible.
Well, that's great. And if you could put it on speakerphone, we're gonna wind up the show now, and you ladies are gonna have a chance to get some shout outs. So please put it on the speaker, and we'll wrap the show.
All right, we're on speaker.
Hey, ladies, now's the time in the show. You get a couple of minutes to get some shout outs to whoever sponsors you, and friends along the way, and of course Joe. So have at it.
All right. We want to say, first and foremost, thank you to our parents for all their support and love, and for our military men and women who are out there fighting for our right to be able to do what we do. And we want to say thank you to some of our sponsors who are already on board with us, local companies like Smith Farm Supply and the Rustic Rack Boutique. We also have Bush Hog and Pro X cameras, and we have Lit Coolers that's coming on board with us as well. And we're just super excited and thankful for all the support that we've had from friends and family. And thank you to everyone who's ever had a hand in helping us and teaching us anything about hunting. We thank all of you, and Joe for having us out here and having us come hunt with him. We're so thankful for people like that, and who's excited about our adventure as much as we are.
I would, of course, like to thank my grandpa for starting this whole thing, with starting me at a very early age. Thank my grandpa, my grandma, my mom for always supporting me and pushing me to keep going on to that next modeling job, and just always being there for me all my life.
Yeah, and just thank you to everyone. I mean, our friends and family, all of you, we thank you so much for your support.
Ladies, Niki and Brittney, it's been a pleasure. You're younger ladies, certainly a heck of a lot younger than I am, but the intensity, the passion that you bring to hunting I'm just trying to find the adjective. It just warms me up to find that we have people like you that are in the business, that are going to carry forward the tradition, and there to model hunting to whoever wants to ask the question. So on behalf of Whitetail Rendezvous across North America, thank you, ladies, for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
On the next episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, we're heading down to central Kansas and Nebraska, really right on the border. So we're going to visit with Cody Cook. Cody's the owner and founder of Heartland Pride Outfitters. And yes, he takes a lot of big bucks, and you've heard about Kansas bucks. And so he's going to share some stories about how to put a big Kansas buck down. And don't minimize Nebraska, because he's got some great hunting there also. Cody Cook, Heartland Pride Outfitters, coming up next.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.